Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today we are going to be playing with Sean D's Tainted Esper Doomsday control list. It's a little hard to name these Tainted Pact decks. So in case you aren't familiar with this beautiful, beautiful magic card, and I do mean that in terms of both functionality and its use, you exile the top card of your library, and you can put that card into your hand unless it has the same card as another card exiled this way. Repeat this process until you do actually put a card into your hand, or you exile two cards with the same name. So, as long as you have a singleton deck, when you draw a Tainted Pact, you just get to tutor for the card that you want. Now, it may come at a cost, but you should be able to get what you're looking for. And the idea with this is that you can do something like cast a Thassa's Oracle with the trigger on the stack, cast a Tainted Pact, exile your entire library, and then, ta-da, all of a sudden you have won. The primary way that this deck seeks to win is via Thassa's Oracle in this way. And there is also a Doomsday to create various Doomsday piles here. If you kind of take a quick look at the deck list, you'll see that this is not a particularly good Doomsday deck, in that there's not a lot of things like Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, Edge of Autumn here that can cause you to make just like very strong, very varied piles. Instead, we are looking to win via Thassa's Oracle using Tainted Pact most of the time. The other thing that we can do is just straight up play an Esper control game. We have powerful finishers such as Monastery Mentor and its cousin, Sedgemoor Witch. We also have things like Murktide Regent and Ethereal Forager that can just carry the game on its own. So kind of the strength of this deck is that you can just play an Esper control game with an oops, I won the game ability. And you're also playing an Esper control deck where you have just two things that tutor for the exact situational card that you need. The sideboard is similarly full of situational answers. Notice here that there's not any double copy of a card in this deck list, except for Tainted Pact and Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle is important enough to the deck, and it's very frequently going to be a card that you might want to find with a Tainted Pact anyway, that it's okay to play two copies of that in some circumstances. So, for example, you don't want to have a Thassa's Oracle thought seized early and then just lose access to it for the rest of the game and not be able to get your Tainted Pact killed. This is kind of why there's two of them. It may be awkward at times where we we double flipped Thassa's Oracle. We're taking that instead of the card we wanted, but that shouldn't happen too often. I should say this in advance. Whenever you play a Tainted Pact deck, there is a lot of options for cards that could be in this deck. Hit me up in the comments if you think there's any real obvious misses here. Consider is one that should probably be in the deck list, but the deck list was built prior to Consider being released. Sorry, Sean, and thank you for letting me push this one back in the queue. We ended up with a whole bunch of Doomsday around the same time, so I decided to declump them, and Sean was kind enough to let me push this back a week or two. Anyway, I hope this will be an amusing league for you all. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for Legacy, Modern, and Vintage content on the regular. And if you are a regular, throw me a like before we get started. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. If you want to support my money with good old dollars, that information is available in the video description, as is this deck list, if you want to get one of your own decks on the channel. Let's fight. All right, round one, I am on the play. I have a single land. I don't have any real cantrips, that actually have selection associated with them. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. And this is a single land, but it doesn't actually produce real mana. It just makes colorless on its own. Unfortunately, we're going to 5, and we just have Thassa's Oracle Tainted Pact. When I get to 4 mana, I have the tools necessary to win the game. This is fine. I'll pitch Force of Negation and Ethereal Forager, and just plan on playing a Tidehollow Sculler on turn 2. I am good with that. I'm going to lead on the Swamp here. I think it disguises what deck I am a little bit better. And I'll get Tundra with Marsh Flats. Oh, and honest to goodness, Delver of Secrets. Unearth. That's respectable. I think I have to get Tundra. with this. I need the white this turn, and I am going to need blue in the future. I don't think I get to play the basic land here. Okay, it did resolve. That's a lot of stuff. I am gonna just hold on to this Murktide Regent. I don't think this Tide Hollow Scholar is long for the world, regardless of what I end up doing here. Delver flips to Expressive Iteration. How does this side look? It is like a Mothman. Alright. I go to 16. This is potentially one of those games where my opponent is just going to like find a daze or equivalent, and it's going to be hard for me to win. Like, I know my opponent has the Force of Will, so like the Thassa's Oracle Tainted Pact situation is not currently live. No shuffle. Alright, another Volk. I assume another Ponder. Yep. And no shuffle with the Ponder. Okay, we had a really long pause there. I don't know why. I'm going to assume it was a real life thing. I guess I'm just going to attack for 2 and hold up Spell Pierce for Expressive Iteration. If my opponent does not cast Expressive Iteration, I will just cycle and unearth at the end of my opponent's turn to try to hit my next land drop. I don't think I just want to cycle unearth main phase. I still have to work through this. This being the Force of Will. We'll see if my opponent wants to force this. I guess is no, but very contextual. Well, they do. It's a force pitching a Ponder. I don't know, that the Force of Will in hand seems really valuable to me, especially after I've missed land drops. But like maybe my opponent is valuing looks at something like a Wasteland. I think that is of exceptional value right now. Okay, I am super happy that you did that with that timing, because now I get to unearth this. All right. Yeah, that's a good hand. That's a good hand. Murktide Regent is still the hardest thing for me to beat here. Missing out on these lands after the mulligan is real rough. I am like a Brainstorm into Wasteland away from just being dead on the spot. This Dash Ragavan is bad enough. Oh, no Dash Ragavan. Alright, so my opponent is just valuing, perhaps, holding up the Brainstorm to get this into play. Okay. Ow. Alright, so there goes Tide Hollow Scholar. Opponent has instant sorcery land in graveyard. Oh, so they could put the Murktide Regent on top of their library and then cast an instant in their upkeep to just send that thing to exile and attack me for 6. That sounds pretty awful for me. That's the Wasteland. We can very easily concede to that. I just cannot come back from that. Alright, I would like Sudden Edict. That is a removal spell. I probably want Blue Elemental Blast and Hydroblast as our removal spells for many of my opponent's creatures. How is the Dress Down gonna be? Interesting is the answer. I don't know that it's gonna be good here with how sporadic my deck itself actually is. I also think it's not crazy to try something like a Narset as some form of card advantage. Let's figure out what I don't want. Wall Therapy feels too sporadic. I think I'm going to cut the Ideas Unbound. I feel like most of the time in this matchup, if I win with Thassa's Oracle, it's going to be because of a Pact. I think I'm going to cut Ideas Unbound, Doomsday, Street Wraith, and try to just play a very awkward control game versus this deck. What do I feel? How do I feel about Soul Guide Lantern? It's like fine. Without an Urza Saga or something to tutor it up, I don't super like it. I think I'm gonna try without it. Alright. Oh god, it's super awkward that this isn't blue on turn 1. Actually, no, it's fine, because Opt is an instant, right? Yeah, okay, I'll keep this. I think I am gonna value casting the Opt on turn 1 rather than playing around a Wasteland immediately. I'm just going to bottom this. I just want lands. Nice. Because, like, in the world where I just get, like, Snap Wastelanded here or equivalent, I want to play around that. Alright, do I just want to Edict this immediately? Probably. Like, do not mess around with it. Play Bob the following turn. Yeah, I think I like giving my opponent no ability to surveil stuff into the graveyard here. Alright, so there's a Brainstorm. If I'm the opponent, I'm looking for Dragon Rage Channeler or Ragavan here. Alright, there's a fetch land. They'll get another Volcanic Island. Okay, that's a Ragavan. If I draw a white mana, I have Prismatic Ending. Alright, I have Prismatic Ending. I think that is the thing that I want to do here. Just going to try to answer that. And good with this? I think I'm good with this. I don't know that my card quality is high enough that I just, like, get the luxury of not using my mana. I think I kind of need this Bob to trade with a card, or hopefully get me card advantage, but, you know. Some of these blue-red Delvery decks are even playing something like Gut Shot right now, so Bob not long for this world in many cases. Okay, another fetch land. I'm gonna move this up. Reposition myself here. And a new Ponder. So I'm gonna look to draw a Tainted Pact. Not Tainted Pact. Rats. I'm not going to just play out Thassa's Oracle for the sake of playing out Thassa's Oracle. I'm just going to continue to make land drops, and I'll play future cards around Daze and other soft permission. Dash Ragavan is a pain in the butt, because I have a sorcery speed removal card here. I might need to just play out this Thassa's Oracle as a blocker, now that I know that Dash Ragavan is something that I'm going to have to worry about. Fuck me. Okay. That's rough. Yeah. Well, I wonder which one my opponent is going to take. Because, like, the Thassa's Oracle is something that could win me the game, but the Dam means that my opponent can't easily just play out something like a Murktide Regent. Yeah, they're going with the Dam. And the Monkey will return to hand. Alright, do I keep the Oracle? I only have 2 Tainted Pacts. I probably need to just play to the board here. And try to scry towards something that is meaningful. Alright. It might be an exaggeration to say that I'm currently dead, but I think I'm currently dead. Because this Ragavan is just going to dash in, it's going to keep pulling cards from my deck, and my cards are good. Like, my cards are random, but the average card quality of my deck is pretty high. Yeah, so, like, this is a random one that they can't currently use, but they can spike into things like Teferi and Sedgemoor Witch and Monastery Mentor. It's just bad. Okay. Guess who's back? Back again. Ragavan's back. Please don't find any of the friends in my deck. Okay. That's fine. Oh, yeah. Ragavan is a monkey pirate. We'll name pirate to be saucy. Will you work? Nice. Pirate. Lightning bolt nerd. Nope. Cool. My opponent has 7 cards in hand. I'm not, like, super hopeful. This feels like a Murktide Regent based on how long the spell is taking to be cast. And Murktide Regent flies. Plague Engineer. Does not fly. It does a lot of other cool shit, but it does not fly. Fatal Push. Does not kill Murktide Regent. I'm dead in... Oh, okay. My opponent left a bunch of stuff in the graveyard. Yeah. I mean, this is Death Touchy, so I guess I can attack in. Block me. Trade. No trade. Okay. I'm going to take 5 here. Puts me to 9. Okay, that's just a land. That's good for me. I am just so suspicious. I'm going to hold these, I guess, for Brainstorm. I can, like, Brainstorm, put back 2 lands, fetch them away. But my next draw step has to beat Murktide Regent and however many counterspells are in my opponent's hand. I also can potentially just die to, like, a new Ragavan being cast or something like that. Down to 4. Don't care about Bauble. Alright, is my top card good? You get to know before I do. Well, Oscar me. Urborg. Oh, good. That's rough. My round 2 opening hand is a little bit mana light here. I don't think I can keep a one-lander. We kind of veered in the other direction. I could probably think for a while about which one of these lands I'm actually supposed to keep, but I'm just gonna, like, throw one back and move on. I think this hand is a little weak. Alright. Spell Pierce, not gonna be the best here. I'm gonna play Tundra and pass. I'll hold up the Spell Pierce. I could play Misty and pass, but if I have to Spell Pierce for something, I don't really want it to, like, I don't want to force the fetch here, and I don't really have a turn 2 play anyway. Ideas Unbound is not what I want to see. I think I have a random Shockland or two in here that I can consider thinning out of the deck. I'll go ahead and do that now, I guess. Watery Grapevine. Yeah, I'll take the Shockland out of the deck. I'll protect my white mana in hand for now. Do I want to just cast an Ideas Unbound and filter my hand? I don't think I necessarily need to do that. I have like a Plague Engineer that I can tutor up with Tainted Pact. Alright, I guess I need to look at the deck list. I actually don't have a Wrath effect, do I? No, I have Damn. I don't have immediate access to white-white. I'm gonna cast a Tainted Pact here. If I find a Force of Will quickly, I might just Force of Will this. Do I want Doomsday? I don't quite have... I don't have 4 blue mana to just do an insane Doomsday pile with Ideas Unbound and Thassa's Oracle in the same turn. I also can't build a super effective Doomsday pile if that Spirit is in play. Alright. River of Tears, no. Tyrant Scorn, no. Swords, no. Mom's in play. The other Tainted Pact is going. That's unfortunate. Okay, there is the Plague Engineer. So, do I just want to take Plague Engineer and answer one of Spirit or Mom? I think that's good enough. Alright, your Spirit resolves. Preordain is the draw. I think I'm going to play Monastery Mentor this turn, and then next turn I'll play... Or no, I should do it the other way. I should just Plague Engineer now, and then next turn play Mentor into Cantrip at the same time. Yeah, I like that. There are more humans by a lot in my opponent's deck, but at this exact time, Spirit is problematic for me. I just plan on winning this by going wide of my opponent. So now we can start seeing cards like Skyclave Apparition that were previously stuck in my opponent's hand. Fuck. That's good. Lost my other Tainted Pact. Oh, they named 3 for Doomsday after seeing my 1 of Doomsday. Holy shit. Okay. That's cool. Alright. Alright. We got super fucking lucky there. Let's Mentor. Going to Cabal Therapy, target you. Ooh, a Solitude. What did they just pitch? They just pitched a Swords to Plowshares. Alright. Goodbye, Mentor. Mentor was already a 2-for-1. It already traded for Solitude. And I'm going to get a second guess on Cabal Therapy. I'm just going to name something that is somewhat likely to have not been played yet. I'm going to name a Skyclave Apparition here. Flicker Wisp and Recruiter. I'll sacrifice my Monk. We're going to get rid of that Recruiter. Alright, this leaves my opponent with just a Flicker Wisp. So my opponent will probably just blink one of their lands here. Okay, that is indeed what's happening. They blink a plains. Alright, they are willing to make the attack in. I'm not going to block here. If I held up some mana and I could be representing removal, like, that's something different. Alright, do I want to start this turn with Ideas Unbound? And just, like, filter through all these kind of questionable cards in my hand? Or do I actually want to play Preordain? I think I just want to play Preordain. What are we going to look at? Bloodchief Thirst, this is a removal spell, right? Yeah, so neither one of these cards are super good with Mother of Runes and this other stuff in play. Sculler's not great. Do I want to go down a card for card selection, or do I want to play a bunch of stuff out and then try to treat Idea Unbounds as an actual draw spell? I think I want to treat it as an actual draw spell. I assume this doesn't actually do what I want it to do. Yeah, kind of the vibe I was getting. Specifically because, like, if my opponent has something better than a Flicker Wisp, they should just play it out. I'll just take this hit again. Like, this stuff is worth life later as well. Thalia is annoying. That makes my whole, like, try to treat Ideas Unbound as a real draw spell considerably worse. Unearth on Human is... Unearth on Plague Engineer is pretty good. I'll block with Plague Engineer in this next turn cycle and then Unearth. I think I'll Ideas Unbound now, though. Well, can I get this greedy of not doing this? Try to Unearth, wait a turn, Ideas Unbound. I don't know that I can get that greedy. That's pretty greedy. Alright, so I'll draw these cards, try to find something to do in this turn cycle. Could play a Thassa's Oracle this turn. Gain a 1/3 blocker. I need to discard 3 of these cards. I'm going to discard Land, Spell Pierce, and keep the Thassa's Oracle for later. I was really hoping to get like a spot removal spell so I could get a follow-up after I junk Mother of Runes and Thalia. But that's not happening. Alright, how many of these things are coming in? Alright, the Prelate is no longer coming in. I'm going to just chump with this. I don't want to double block. I want to make sure that Plague Engineer dies, because that's important to me currently. Goodbye. Now I'll take 3 damage. Play human. Play human. Yes! Sedgemoor Witch? Sedgemoor Witch? Are we gonna win this game? Is this how one wins games of Magic the Gathering? And now I will unearth Plague Engineer. I will take my pest. Oh, opponent had a misstep there. They should have given Sanctum Prelate protection. I'll name human and take my 3 for 1. And now, because my opponent didn't give this protection, I get a couple of points of damage here. Now, I still do have to draw an answer to this Flicker Wisp, but I have probably become the aggressor. It's close, though. Like, it is a probably situation. I swing in with all of this. I just play Thassa's Oracle as a blocker. That's probably how I'm winning, honestly. Opponent's probably just got to land. The Restoration Angel would savage me, but that card's beating me anyway. It could also be like a Swords of Plowshares or something. I'm going in. I'm not gonna win this game sitting back here. Opponent's at 10. We'll cast this Thassa's Oracle. Put a card on top of your library. Put Dam on top of my library. That's just gonna destroy this Flicker Wisp and give me another pest. All of a sudden, I'm in pretty good shape. My opponent could draw like a Jitte, and that would potentially be bad for me, like a Jitte or a Stoneforge. Otherwise, I think I'm good. Do I need to do this at sorcery speed to get this pest? I'm never overloading. I'm never scared of Sanctum Prelate. I'm going to do this at sorcery speed. I will take this pest. This is going to be a long fucking league, isn't it? Alright, Fracture's fine. Sudden Edict is fine. Breast Down does some weird shit, although I don't think I'm super well suited to using it in comparison to other decks, and I think Containment Priest is good. Well, let's figure out what's actively bad. Flusterstorm is actively bad. Spell Pierce is actively bad. Cabal Therapy is weak. Ideas Unbound is weak. Kind of like we saw in that game. Force of Negation also not great. I'd rather have Ideas Unbound than Force of Negation, I think. Doomsday with a couple Thassa's Oracles in it is still valid. I can play Narset. Do I want to cut more of the Doomsday package, or like, is this just good? Narset's some card advantage, which I feel like I do sort of need. The Ideas Unbound is kind of hard to pull off. Because, like, if the Ideas Unbound is basically only going to win me the game if I have blue, 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 which is pretty unlikely to happen. Or at least in one turn. Because I don't have something like a Lion's Eye Diamond to help offset those costs. This hand is legit. I have 3 lands, which is something that I would definitely want to see versus Death and Taxes. I have 2 removal spells, and I have a blocker with a decently fat butt. I'm good with all of this. Okay. River of Tears will be black mana on turn 2, so I can use this to like fetch an Underground Sea and then him on turn 2. I also want to be thinking about white because I do specifically have Dam. Alright, I'm gonna get slowed down now. Let's fetch. Am I playing Thassa's Oracle? That whether or not I want to play turn 2 Thassa's Oracle changes a lot here. There's like potentially access to my second white. I can probably take some damage from that Thalia. My opponent's mulligan pretty deep. I just grabbed the Godless Shrine here. What the hell is this? When this ETBs, sacrifice it unless you return a non-lair land you control to its owner's hand. Why the fuck is this in the deck? Oh god. Okay. Well. Alright. that is a thing. I'll play a fetch land and pass. Is there straight up a Triome in this color combination? Asking for a friend. The friend is me. I'm the friend. Send help. This may be a choice where this is like, I don't like that. Where this is like a choice based on nostalgia rather than on something that's actually good. If I were to take a guess, it's finding a Stoneforge Mystic. I'm leaning towards this dam being good quite heavily. I need to fetch my other white now to like continue to play towards the dam being good. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. I'm about to take 2 of them. Here we go. Will I hit this Stoneforge Mystic, or will I be screwed? Whew. We hit the Stoneforge Mystic. So now that Kaldra isn't going to get involved, I can probably... Fuck. That loses access to my second white. That's not good. Because my Sudden Edict just takes out a 1/1. I have this Dromar's Cavern to worry about. Alright. I am just going to play this as a blocker. I just need to buy time until I can get to Dam. Alright, how does this work? Rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. I can Ethereal Forager. Try to like buy back a Sudden Edict and a Hymn to Turok. Is this just as a 3/3 flyer fine right now? It's bigger than all my opponents. Shit. Yeah, is this fine? Maybe this is fine. This is weird. Okay, well, I am super glad my opponent used their Swords of Plowshares on that and not my Whale that I'm about to play. I'll take 3 damage here from these attackers going to 11. And my opponent didn't have anything else for that turn. That's fine. Alright. I'll exile this. I don't know if I have too many other things that mess around with my graveyard. Because I don't have other things I want to do with my mana, I'm fine with just doing this. I don't think I need to try to chase the Sudden Edict value. Because I'm planning on eventually clearing out the board with a dam anyway. Alright, I can hard cast that. I don't think I want to take any damage here. Oh no, I can't hard cast that for another turn cycle. Maybe longer because this thing. Also, I lost a lot of time somewhere. Walking Ballista? I mean, I'm gonna block and make you do your thing. Okay. I'm going to become the Monarch. Sick. I'm going to become the Monarch, and I have a Dam. And a Sudden Edict. Oh shit, I also could just Force of Will this now that my opponent's Thalia is gone. They attacked so that they could play their Chord of Grace. Alright, do I want to play the Monarch subgame? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to Force of Will this. It is really tempting to let it resolve, though. Alright. I guess at this point, I take an attack here. And I'll return this Hymn to Turok to my hand. This brings my opponent to 17. Are you black mana right now? No, you're blue mana right now. I'll take whatever this card is out of your hand. It's probably just a land. Oh, it's another redundant Thalia. Sure. Play this so I can have access to Sudden Edict on my opponent's turn. I don't need to have access to Sudden Edict in a lot of cases. Ugh. Sure don't have access to white-white, because I played to have access to Sudden Edict instead of having access to white-white on the next turn. That's Kaldra. Oh, I'm gonna get super punished for not playing my questionable land. Untapped White Source. Baleful Strix. Okay. Let's cast this Baleful Strix. Unearth. It's not immediately good. I'll play this. Oh, wait. Oh, shit! This enters untapped? Okay. I just assumed with the formatting that this entered tapped for some reason. Alright, so I do have access to white-white. I guess I just kind of, like, threw away this Baleful Strix. Oh, maybe it's not throwing it away, actually. So I'll go to attacks. I'll send in for 3. My opponent goes to 14. Then I will overload this dam. This will leave that Cauldra trapped in my opponent's hand. And then I can unearth the Baleful Strix to get it back into play, and I have succeeded in getting deeper into my deck. Oh, it's a Bob. That's pretty good at this stage of the game. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll take my 1 point of owl damage. Put my opponent to 13 and cast a Bob. I also straight up don't remember if I'm in game 2 or game 3 currently. If I'm in game 2, this is kind of a problem for me. Alright, Solitude is annoying. That's going to answer my Bob. Gonna Sudden Edict that away. Oh, they answered my Baleful Strix. Okay, so they're hoping to kill me with my own Bob. I just kind of assumed it would be the other way. Narset. Minus. Doomsday's pretty sick here. Yeah, just gonna grab a Doomsday. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Alright. I'll make black, black, black. I will cast a Doomsday. I'm gonna take a Thassa's Oracle. I will take some land that I can put on top of my library with Bob. Just any untapped land is fine, like an Underground Sea. I don't think it matters too much from there what I take. I'm gonna have 4 Devotion, so like Thassa's Oracle will just be lethal next turn. I also have like Tainted Pact to make it easier. Yeah, I think the other cards don't matter. I'll grab a Reanimate to try again. I'll grab a Prismatic Ending to answer some random thing that my opponent does, and I'll grab a Fracture to answer some random thing my opponent does. Done. Alright. Ending, Fracture, Reanimate, Oracle, C. Crash in with Bob. Wasteland is fine. Alright, so here's this. We'll minus with Narset. I'll just grab another random card here. And this is just to make sure that I get down to 2 cards. I'll take a... Doesn't matter, I'll take a Prismatic Ending. I'll take a Reanimate. Take a Prismatic. I'll take the Fracture. That card costs 2 for Bob-based reasons. I will now cast a Thassa's Oracle. I have 4 Devotion. And I win the match. Low time. I don't know where I ate so much time, but I definitely did somewhere. Alright, I'm looking at a kind of medium opening hand here that I think I'm just going to keep. We're going to play a very weird Esper control sort of game with this hand. I guess I get Underground Sea off of Bloodstained Mire, lead on Duress, and work towards Baleful Strix. Maybe this is a Tundra. Opponent is tanking hard on their mulligan. They've mulled to 6 already, and they're thinking pretty long and hard about 5. Alright, they are going to 5. And they've kept on 5. I think I'm going to just go ahead and stick to the line that I originally was coming up with. Underground Sea into Duressu. Ooh, okay. We are going to take the only relevant... Wow, they still have Urza Saga Ancient Tomb. I guess it's not the only relevant card in their hand. But I will be taking the Mystic Forge here. So they're probably just going to play Urza Saga on 1. Alright, River of Tears. That's fine. Guess I'll just play that this turn. And Cantrip. Preordain's kind of whatever. The good news is I have both Urza Saga Construct tokens in theory answered already. One via Baleful Strix, one via Fatal Push, or Unearth on Baleful Strix. Okay, there's Ancient Tomb. Into a Grim Monolith, which can now go into Basalt Monolith. Oh. Just double defense grid. Opting not to take an Urza Saga token there. Just no chances being taken. I guess I just value this pretty low since I have a Baleful Strix in play already. I mean, I am obviously fine with that. This needs to be a white producing land. I think this is Scrubland. And I'll play a Mentor. Not expecting my opponent to have a Lightning Greaves or anything. So make your critter. Oh, it looks like they're just going to choose to float mana. Just fully giving up on the tokens. This untaps Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith plays Basalt Monolith. What do you got left? Nada? I like that. What does this do? Gray, a small creature, bounce a creature. It's probably good against my opponent's deck. Let's do Monastery Mentor stuff. I haven't done this in a while. And let me tell you, feels pretty good. I'll bottom both of these. I don't really need to play this Thassa's Oracle now. I just want to find more cantrips. Douthie Voidwalker is actually really good. Like, really, really good. It stops some of the things that just let my opponent go infinite. So, with, like, Basalt Monolith, it can infinitely tap and untap itself, which allows you to kind of go infinite via Mystic Forge, because you just like mill everything you can't cast for free off the top of your deck, and then you get into like some Echo of Eons and stuff like that, and it ends up being no good. All right, opponent's up to 5 mana, 7 mana, Walking Ballista, Walking Ballista. They've got their hands full. How is my opponent going to play with his Walking Ballista? Also, it doesn't matter because I have Unearth. Probably doesn't matter because I have Unearth. I'm going to go land and just Fatal Push this. Okay. That's fine. I'm good with this. So now I cast Unearth, targeting the Douthie Voidwalker, which does all this trigger shit again. Alright, yeah, my opponent concedes there. Oh, Monastery Mentor. Good times. Okay, Grafdigger's Cage and Soulguide Lantern are kind of whatever. They stop specifically like one large combo that my opponent can do. I want Dress Down for Urza's Saga. I want Hurkyl's Recall because it's Hurkyl's Recall. Deafening Silence is fine. Meddling Mage is probably good. Fracture is probably good. And then I'm going to have a pile of things that are just okay. Cabal Therapy seems medium. I'm going to have to worry about things like Chalice, and my opponent's also going to vomit their hand pretty quickly. Luster Storm is not going to be great. It can stop Echo, but it's going to miss most other things. How's my Doomsday situation? Medium. I think I'm going to cut that 3-card package, because I have a lot of cards that I want to board in. I'll junk the Misdirection. And I like most of the other stuff that's here. A lot of it's not amazing, but the rest of it is at least fine. And so now it's just a question of, like, do I want to shut off Echo? If my opponent is already, like, going off, stopping just Echo doesn't necessarily win me the game. I'm going to bring in another answer to, like, an Emery. Actually, with Emery, like, maybe I want this Cage. Okay, what do I cut, then? I just cut the discard on the draw. I cut one random removal spell. Maybe I cut one random removal spell. This one doesn't hit Emery all the time. Like, Engineer can do work for Psy if my opponent is playing that. Maybe we'll do something for mana efficiency here and do that. Alright, DK. A Stony Silence would be a sweet bullet to have access to, just by the way. This hand is going to be a keep. I don't think it's overly good at anything, but it's okay at a couple of things. Don't do it. I have so much to live for. Uh-huh. Yes. Stop. No. Alright. I have no lands. Please Echo again. Echo harder, Caleb. I believe in you. We'll take key. Untaps that thing. Yeah. Okay. That's a Mystic Forge. I am very close to just dying here. Actually, am I dead? Yeah, okay. So my opponent cracks LED. And then they have Mesmeric Orb, Mystic Forge, LED. So I am dead next turn, I think. I have no mana currently. That's rough. So my opponent goes 3 mana, untap Basalt Monolith. They cycle infinitely through their deck. They play the Lotus Petals and stuff the first pass through, gain some mana, shuffle them back in, do echo shit. Yeah, I'm very dead. Yeah. Ugh. Alright, I guess we'll try again when we're on the play, huh? I want the Cabal Therapy on the play. It's like, whatever. I need to simultaneously respect just dying to Urza Saga construct tokens and respect my opponent's combo. This is fine. If my opponent has a hand with multiple payoff pieces, this is not great for me. They have an Echo. They don't have a way to get it into the graveyard. So I will just be taking the Mystic Forge here. Kind of unfortunately for me, my opponent still just has Urza's Saga and the ability to start activating it on turn 2. Yep. Oh, that's not bad. Wait, I think I'm just going to shock with Godless Shrine here. This will be blue, shock, black, take my card draw. Unearth is totally reasonable after playing a Baleful Strix. Well, my opponent portable holes this away some portion of the time here. Okay. 3 mana. Alright, they're just going to play out the Basalt Monolith and use Urza Saga to get the key. Fine. Not super what I'm looking for. I mean, I'll play it. I'll just pick up, I don't know, an Underground Sea here. I'm going to just put this on Thopter. I don't think my opponent's going to make an Urza Saga token. And I'd rather have this as redundancy. Oh, my opponent can also just get a Lion's Eye Diamond and then Echo of Eons. Yeah, okay. That's going to be their plan. Okay. We'll see how bad this gets. Alright. That is straight up just 6 mana. That's horrifying. I kind of just have a whole bunch of dead cards here. Alright, so they're going for an Echo. My hand's not great. Just being honest. Probably better than before, but my opponent might be able to like lattice with a couple of blockers in play with how things look right now. Their turn probably just got very hard to play, just in terms of decision trees. Alright, my opponent thought about that for a very long time before playing that Voltaic Key. So their mana might be tight for doing the things that they want to do. Alright, there's an untap on the Basalt Monolith, off Voltaic Key. Where are we going? New Basalt Monolith. Alright, so now we're going to see what's going on with the Karn. It could just be something as simple as a Walking Ballista for 3, honestly. Just clear the board. I don't know, I've got 7 cards in hand. Something like a Trinisphere would be a pain in my butt. Yeah, okay. They're going to just clear my board. Oh no, they're just going to do it for 1. Okay. Like, do you have like a cast out over there or something? I guess they're just trying to keep the Karn alive. How the F do I play my turn? It probably just starts with a Brainstorm. I don't think I can win this turn without having just naturally spiked a different card here. So let's start here. Sudden Edict is fucking insane. Without thinking about this too much, I'm just going to put back land. I will play a land. I will cast a Sudden Edict. And this can't be responded to. This means that I actually get to kill the Karn that my opponent worked so hard to protect. Holy moly, what a draw. So now I will fetch with this, and I will cast this Duress and try to take like a Mystic Forger equivalent that's in my opponent's hand. I guess like with a Scrubland. I'll have access to blue next turn. This gives me white for if I happen to draw and need a dam. Oh, fuck yeah, it's another Karn. Oh, shit. Opponent has 2 lands in hand. They are at the absolute mercy of the top of their deck. And I am about to have a giant whale. Okay. They can untap a couple of Basalt Monoliths, that's all. Monastery Mentor. Very nice. Is that better than Ethereal Forager? Probably better than Ethereal Forager. Yeah, I'll cast this holding up Path to Exile. Crash in for 3. That brings my opponent to 14. Yeah, you can untap your stuff. That's fine. You got one other one that you can do. Yep. And now I'm just kind of looking to dodge for a turn. Yup. Alright, good stuff. I really just wanted to draw like a cantrip there. Making it kind of cute. And cycle this like this. Draw a lair. Sure. Make a blue. I guess make a blue. Play Ethereal Forager. Return 4 cards with that. Play this Cavern. Bounce a Scrubland or something. I'll bash in. I haven't done a very good job of making monk tokens. But here's to hoping that I can kill my opponent next turn. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 showing. Yeah, I can just play Thassa's Oracle and then Path to Exile it. Alright, opponent had no play. Non-creature spell. Cool. So, do the Monastery Mentor thing. That's prowess, and we win the match. Oh shit, good stuff. Alright. Looks like we're just gonna straight up play Doomsday with this hand. So, assuming I hit a 4th land drop, I can just play Ideas Unbound into Thassa's Oracle on turn 4. And that wins me the game. I guess the Doomsday gets me another land 100% of the time, so that's fine. I can't get super cute with my piles, though. Like, I don't have things like Lotus Petal and LED to help me out. Like, I have the existence of the card Doomsday in my deck, and I have the existence of Thassa's Oracle. We're not going to have too much flexibility of what I do with that. Okay, looks like our opponent is just going to play is just going to play a land and pass. Are you a second main phase Stan? No. Okay. So I'm going to fetch and just get some tapped lands out of my deck. Alright, I'll just take the Watery Grave out of the deck here. Thoughtseize. Don't mind that at all. Let's get some info. My opponent had long pauses on their turn for no reason. I wonder if they're playing a crop rotation deck or something. Okay. Alright. How do I do this? How do I channel this energy into something that helps the world? Alright. Fuck me, huh? So my opponent just goes Manosaurus, Thespian, Stage. Oh god. Alright. Well, shit. Okay. Cool. We're dead. Well, we're dead unless my opponent doesn't go for it. So, in the world where they don't just go for it, I can potentially stay alive by bluffing something. But they certainly fucking go for it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm now going to need to fetch to thin my deck. I need to draw one of just a couple of cards. Teferi is one of them. I need to make sure I have a white source, and I need to make sure this is also a black source, so this will become a scrubland. And we get just a couple of draws here. That is peak. Now I have to, like, actually look at this singleton mess and figure out my outs. I have Path, Swords, technically Plague Engineer, I think keeps me alive, maybe. Fairy. Alright, so basically I have 3 outs, 4 outs with Prismatic Ending. I'll have Path, Sword, Prismatic Ending as 1 mana outs. I can cast an Ideas Unbound, leave up a Scrubland, and then hit one of 3 cards. I think that gives me better odds than Peak. Peak could allow me to do some interesting things, like hit a Ponder or something afterwards. None of that does it. Didn't hit like a Baleful Strix or anything to randomly block. Okay. I mean, that's how it goes. Yeah, just like randomly drawing some cards. I had to get another 4 cards deep in order to find it out. That was not happening there. Okay. Meddling Mage is fine. Sudden Edict is quite good. Dress Down can do some stuff. That's weird. I don't know that I'm actually going to board it in. And then, like, similarly, I have some stuff of medium utility. Fracture is medium, Canonist is medium, Surgical is medium, Narset is medium. Mystical Dispute and Dress Down are not insane either. I guess let's figure out what's not good. I don't care about Unearth most of the time. A lot of my cards have some weird fringe utility. So, for example, a Plague Engineer kills Vampire Hexmage. Maybe some of this, like, Bloodchief's Thirst stuff should go away, but, like, my opponent could be playing Bobs. Maybe I didn't go down on, like, the Reanimate Unearth stuff to get these first 2 cards in, and then I don't know about a lot of the other stuff. I think I'm just going to keep this as is and keep my Doomsday stuff. Alright, this hand is really good. I'll absolutely keep this. I'll probably just Tundra. Oh no, I can't Tundra off Verdant Catacombs. My mana's a little awkward. What can I get off this Verdant Catacombs that I want? I mean, I want Tundra. I want both blue and white. That's not going to happen. So I can get white off Verdant Catacombs, but I can't get white and blue. I would really like to be able to play this Teferi on 3. I think I'm just going to, like, not take Opt on turn 1 and just play this land tapped. I think my hand is overall good enough that I can do that. And then I can just play Verdant Catacombs for white mana on turn 2. Alright, there's a Mentor as my draw. I'll fetch. Oh, I guess the mana's awkward again with Strix if I do this, huh? Oh no, I get Scrubland and then I still have black-blue, it's fine. Alright. Blue, black. There's my chump blocker. And I picked up another land. I want to hold off playing this Urborg for as long as possible. My opponent currently does not have colored mana. Alright, cool. Mentor? I think I'll just jam the Mentor here. It's possible playing the Teferi is better, but this is the line that will kill my opponent considerably faster. Probably 2 turns faster. Alright, you're at 19. Okay. Oh, that's scary. Am I just gonna die? You had double Spirit Guide crop rotation. I'm just gonna die. Well, I would have died if I played out Teferi. My opponent would have just made that in response. Oh no, I wouldn't have died if I played Teferi. I would have played that if my opponent made it in response. Okay. I got punished for not playing around double Spirit Guide crop rotation there. That was fucking wild. I thought I was going to have one more turn and my opponent was just going to play like the turn 3 Dark Depths with 1 piece of acceleration. Just wrong. Damn. Alright, I'm on the play here. I'm going to keep my hand. I'm just going to Cabal Therapy, Brainstorm in the dark, not knowing what my opponent is playing. And I just kind of treat this like a peek. Oh, well, shit. So the good news is nothing. Good news is, like, if my opponent doesn't cast Dark Ritual and Tomb Exhume, everything's fine. I even had Douthie Voidwalker for turn 2. I had turn 2 Graveyard Hate, and it just was not fast enough. That's rough. Real rough. Yeah. If my opponent... I guess I'll let my opponent see this. If my opponent plays a second creature, though, I probably just concede. Like, having to Swords of Plowshares the Grizzlebrand is bad enough. Okay, that's a grief. I lose my other removal spell. That's pretty much an auto concession. Like, my opponent can probably draw 7 again safely now, yeah. And even if they just reanimate a grief and leave me with no cards, like, the damage has been dealt. I guess I'll take a draw step to see if I draw, like, Tainted Pact. Things could get weird if I did that. Alright, looks like my opponent is going to move to discard. Alright. Multiple creatures in the graveyard now. This is kind of too late. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the towel here. We're not realistically winning from this position. Alright. Lantern in. You in, you in, you in. Breast down. Interesting. Probably not good enough, but close. Probably take these things. Probably take this. This is a lot of cards. Sudden Edict's also fine. I'm probably going to have a lot of stuff that I want to board out, though, right? So, like, these things are not particularly great. Cabal Therapy is not particularly strong. Not crazy. This bounces a creature. That's fine. Plague Engineer is not particularly good. What's my Doomsday package? Medium? Like, I'm boarding in so many cards that I probably don't need to win this way. I can just win by turning one of these stupid Hate Bears sideways. I'm very used to doing that. It's very easy. Okay, it's hard. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't think I need Unearth. That leaves me with one more card to cut. Could be one of the weaker blue cantrips. It could be the Dam. I kind of like that. Baleful Strix is medium, but can set up some weird things. Yeah, alright. Scry 1, draw a card, versus look at their hand, draw a card. I think I want Scry 1. It's also possible that I'm overboarding a touch. Some of the things like the Narset are quite slow. Ignoring Thassa's Oracle, this is a pretty good 6-card hand, but I have no counter magic, I have no graveyard hate. I don't know that I can just floop a Bob into play and just, like, expect that to work. I also don't have white mana. I'm gonna ship that. A Reanimate of my own and a Tainted Pact. Like, I can't toss this back. I also have Dalthy Voidwalker. Yeah, sure. I'll just junk Preordain here, I guess. I think I like the third land more than the Preordain. It's close. Chancellor of the Annex. That is awkward for me. So now I can't just play out Dalthy Voidwalker on turn 2. That has to be a turn 3 play. Alright. Alright, Petal Swamp. Neat looking swamp. I like that. Oh. I'm going to give a good long pause here. I want to jockey for mental position and make my opponent think that I was thinking about countering that. I want my opponent to pass the turn, and I want to reanimate whatever the fuck this is. Alright. Those cards are good. No! No! What an unceremonious end to this league. Alright. So my opponent is going to draw 14 cards, also get an Iona into play, name white, shut off my outs to basically everything, and I will click the concede button. Alright, yeah. Goodbye, reanimate. Actually, if they put the Iona into play as well, they can just take my Tainted Pact. Alright, the reanimate is gone. Yeah, the Chancellor trigger is still there. Yeah, as soon as my opponent puts an Iona into play, I'm going to scoop it up. I can't get to, like, 4 mana to realistically cast a Dam before I am going to die. Alright, there's the Animate Dead for the Iona. We can call it there. I am dead. I'll take my 50 play points and walk out the door. Overall thoughts on the deck list? Medium. The Tainted Pact decks that I have played in Legacy have, generally speaking, been weaker than a, like, quote-unquote real deck in equivalent colors. But because the overall card quality in Legacy is so high, you don't actually lose out on all that much by playing a singleton deck list as long as you are in blue. Like, you want to play a singleton Death and Taxes list? Like, good luck. The delta, the change between your good cards and your bad cards is going to be incredibly high. But if you want to play a singleton blue deck where you get all these cantrips to hold it together, and you're in like 3 colors or something like that, the decks end up being reasonably consistent, even though they kind of lack traditional deck building consistency. I don't think we got very many Thassa's Oracle kills in this league. I broke this up over a couple of days, so I don't remember exactly. I think I got 1 or 2. I think I got a Doomsday kill. I don't think I got a Tainted Pact kill off of it, but that was something that was like definitely on the table a few times. I think the balance of the deck list is pretty good. There are some individual cards we didn't draw. Like, I don't think I drew a Murktide Regent ever, but like Mentor, Sedgemoor Witch, Murktide Regent all kind of occupy the same niche role of like a large card, like a singleton win condition that will spiral the game out of control very quickly. I think having a couple of those is great alongside the alternative Thassa's Oracle win condition. Let me know in the comments if you have thoughts about individual card choices. There's always so many ways that you can take this deck list. I'm not sure that the Doomsday portion is actually needed. Like, the Doomsday package that is in this deck is kind of whatever. I never got super cute and tried to build, like, the Thought Scour Unearth pile or anything like that. That's something maybe I should have been thinking about a little bit harder, and I might have had, like, some lines available in that route that would have saved me a mana or something like that. But the Ideas Unbound, for example, felt a little bit clunky. It's just so mana intensive without the presence of some other cards here. We tried to use it fairly a couple times, but we ran into things like the Thalia attacks where it wasn't super great. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you have something spicy that you want to see on the channel, my donation information is in the video description. Have a great rest of the day, folks. See ya!